Remember when we were kids, get together with some buddies to play some newfangled Xbox. You gather around for some Halo, it looks so good and it plays so well. This game could seriously go somewhere. Wait, can we really play this game? Isn't it problematic? The game studio is mostly white guys, and we don't want to offend the culture of the one black friend here with us. Oh yeah, there's no openly gay guys on the art design team for the Master Chief. And really, Chief? That's kind of offensive to Indians. Yeah, you guys are right. This Halo game can't possibly be good without diversity. And then our parents came in the room and clapped. Obviously, this never happened anywhere. Everyone was playing this game about having lots of guns, destroying a world-ending infection, killing aliens, and going to space. You know, purely modern politics stuff. If enough people enjoy how the game's played, the game does well. It was a simpler time. So the woke come along and demand everyone pay attention to who is working in the gaming industry. Much like they did in comics in Hollywood, they push out the people who are already working there, who earned their place, and replace them with activists. And they have this woke religion with its doctrine of DEI and ESG, and it grades people based entirely on identity, race, gender, preference, religion, politics, and maybe there's a sliver left for competence and merit. They have to protect their creations with hostility, with insults, and attacking those who expose their indefensible actions in the industry. This is a cornerstone of identity politics, and a lot of other groups that act in negative faith. They cannot defend the actual creations. As an example, think about Dragon Age the Veilguard. It had several 90% or higher reviews from critics, and was around 30% from gamers. There were dozens of absolutely horrible scenes on social media from the game that were getting openly mocked and destroyed, and the response from the woke activists was, naturally, call them all names. What they did not do is defend the writing, is try to explain how the footage was good, was explaining how the game played well, because they couldn't, and they can't. Whenever a question of quality comes up when there is a wide schism between the activists and the gamers on a game, the woke will always have plenty of insults to hurl, but the one thing they can never do is explain how all these horrible, forced ideology scenes, dialogues, and writing are good in any way. People make fun of Forspoken for the awful dialogue. What, did I just move that with my freaking mind? Because they are incapable of recognizing a visual medium. Notice that too, just a side thing. Notice how even when it's a TV show, a movie, a comic, or a game, there will be something clearly visually happening. And the writers still have to have the character always just say what is happening the entire time, like we can't see it. They cannot defend this. It is always poorly written. And what's the response for Forspoken? Gamers hate the dialogue because black woman. That's identity politics. Every time, and nobody enjoys it. Nobody can ever defend it. They create terrible writing, and then they defend it with insults forged in identity politics. Even they don't enjoy this garbage. Despite how loud they support it on social media, Dustborn, Concord, and Zao all had constant media promotion. Yet all had a dead audience in a week. They will praise Forspoken, but they won't play the game because they're fake. Their religion is all performative, and its only purpose is to piss everyone off. We all, regardless of race or gender, loved games for decades, no matter who made it or who was playing it. We didn't care that Darth Vader was voiced by a black guy, that Mario was an Italian made by a Japanese studio. We cared that the entertainment was entertaining. That has to return. That has to be the main focus of studios going forward. Go ahead and make your identity politics art piece, but accept that nobody is going to play it. And it's not going to have anything to do with identity politics. It's going to have to do with it not being enjoyable. Quentin Tarantino recently praised the Joker 2 movie as a middle finger to the fans and to Hollywood, that the movie was intentionally bad, and that's artistic. And I cannot say there is no angle at which this can make sense. There have been very unusual movies that become cult classics and defy the norm of its time. But if there is an era where you can make an intentionally awful movie, like Joker 2, in order to tell fans you hate them, it's not the era where that's every single movie Hollywood is making. When the entire establishment is trying to be counterculture, it stops being counterculture. At some point, this group became the norm, the elite, the aristocrats, the wealthy, out-of-touch assholes that hate everyone else and look down upon the gamers and the peasants. And they still haven't realized this. Identity politics, wokeness, is establishment. DEI departments are the norm, meaning it is not anti-corporate, it is corporate ideology. ESG is how banks and lenders decide who gets loans. It is part of the government. They don't realize that they are the government, the corporations, the new world religion, but still want to cling to the shield of oppression to avoid any pushback or disagreement. Nobody wants to hear them preach. Nobody wants a lecture in game. Nobody wants the door-to-door religious cult trying to get everyone to follow their belief system. Give people a good game. And if you need to get political, have it be well written and supported with gameplay. Gameplay first. Games and entertainment have had messages for thousands of years. It's been used to teach people. It's been used to pass down history. But people are going to be far more forgiving when Kojima makes a Cold War spy franchise full of memorable characters than they are for an obnoxious tantrum-throwing character having meltdowns about their parents not accepting them as if they're on a US West Coast talking about their real-life family forced into a grimdark fantasy medieval world where dragons threaten to end all life on a regular basis. So, should gamers go back to enjoying games with good gameplay? Here's a secret. Listen up, game devs. We never stopped. Gamers don't have to change. Gamers were never toxic. Gamers were never wrong. And gamers have nothing to apologize for. Should game devs go back to prioritizing gameplay over politics? Should they stop insulting the gamer? Well, that's up to you. We don't care either way at this point. If you decide that you want to make good games, we will always be here. But if you decide you want to continue to focus on ideology and politics and pushing your religion, feel free to enjoy the layoffs. There are AA studios, indie studios, and plenty of other game developers whose main focus is to make a good game.